When you're searching for a job, it is important that you know the values of a company and how they align with your own values. What are the values of the company? What is the mission statement? What are your values? This is important because there's so much more to being successful in any organization than just your work ethic, your ability to deliver, and whether or not you can grow within the organization and the organization sees that you can grow within the organization. Making sure that you understand who you are, what's important to you, and then making sure that you understand who that company is, what they stand for. These things are going to be critical to your long-term happiness within that organization and whether or not you believe that that's an organization that you will be able to stay with for 1 or 2 or 3 of your 5-year stints. Now, if you don't know what I mean by the 5-year stint, in my book, Strategize to Win, I make the case that millennials and Zers will have an opportunity to have 5 or 6 careers over the course of your professional journey. When the traditionalists and the boomers were building their career, the holy grail was to have 30 years in one place and to be able to rise through that organization. But the rate of innovation is so fast today, and there are new companies and new opportunities that are being born. Just think about it. Over the last 20 years, there was a Facebook, there was an Instagram, there was a Google, now there's a ChatGPT. There are all types of companies and opportunities that are being created that you might be able to lead 5 years from now, 7 years from now, 10 years from now. So the idea of being 30 years in one place is much more of a foreign idea than it was in the 1980s or the 1990s. I argue that millennials and Zers are to be thinking about 6 modules of 5 for their career, if you think about a 30-year career. And you may choose to do 2 of those modules in one place, or even 3 of those modules in one place. But it's going to be the company's or the organization's responsibility to create a value proposition that might motivate you to stay for 1, 2, or 3 different modules of 5. But those values are going to be really important because if the company is about honesty, they are about integrity, they are about innovation, they are about evolving or redefining themselves, and that is who you are, then that's going to be a place where you can thrive and that you will be happy over time. And if you are happy with the opportunity, you are happy with your development, you're happy with where you can go, that's an organization that you are likely to stay with. So when you are interviewing with an organization, you want to talk a little bit about their history. You want to talk a little bit about their commitment to innovation. You want to talk about how the organization has evolved over time and how they are thinking about the future and the investments that they're going to make as a company or an organization over the next 2 years, over the next 5 years, over the next 10 years, and I wouldn't go beyond 10 years, to actually maintain their competitiveness in the marketplace. That's going to tell you a lot about their commitment to innovation, their commitment to overall development. You also want to talk about who they are as a corporate citizen or who they are as a philanthropic citizen. What do they do for the communities that they do business in? What do they do for the surrounding community where the headquarters is or where some of the other large offices might be? How do they think about their engagement in larger society? You might want to talk about their engagement in Washington and how they think about that, especially if those things are important to you. So remember that when you are interviewing for a particular role to join a particular organization, you should also be interviewing them. You always have an opportunity to ask these types of questions at the end of the interview, and the answers will be important to you. And as you progress through the interview process, you may go from interviewing with 1 person to 2 people, to 3 people at a time, or maybe to 8 or 9 people on a given day if it's the final rounds. And you want to make sure that you're asking very similar questions to each of these people because now you will have a collection of data, collection of answers. And now you'll be able to evaluate each of those answers as you reflect on that experience And that's going to tell you a lot about those core values and whether or not you think that you can build a career and learn at that organization. Now, the company's values, how it behaves internally, how it behaves externally, what their expectations are of their employees, that's all about the values. The mission may be about what they intend to do as an organization. Our mission is to feed hungry New Yorkers, if it's the New York City Food Bank. Our mission is to provide goods and services in a clean environment, may be one corporation's mission. But that is, they're telling you why they even exist. That's what the mission is all about. And in many cases, how they're going to accomplish that mission. So you want to understand the mission and you want to understand the values, because that's going to help you decide whether or not that's a short-term opportunity for you or a long-term happy opportunity for you. Go get them.